by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, racial, or sexist comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student-athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from the site of competition. Thank you for your cooperation and enjoy the game.
The Bulldogs will take on the Ducks of Stevens Institute of Technology today in a MAC Freedom Semifinal. The starters for today's ball game. First for the Bulldogs of DeSales, a freshman forward, number 1, Kate McGrath. Number 3, a freshman midfielder, Sarah Peterson. Number 5 is Alexis Redonda, a junior midfielder. Number 8, Becky Barley. Number 11 is sophomore Olivia Whitmer, a defender. Number 13, Tyra Wingle, a freshman forward. Number 15, Ashley Jopp, a freshman midfielder. Number 21, Leah Eckert, a freshman midfielder. Number 24, Madison Brader, a senior midfielder. Number 25, Hannah Williams, a junior midfielder. Now the starters for the Ducks of Stevens. Number 4, a junior forward. That is Bryn Froelich. Number 5 is Shannon Stewart, a sophomore defender. Number 6, the team's leading scorer, is Skylar Migliaccio. She is a junior forward. Number 7 is Michaela Thompson. She leads the team in assists. She's a senior defender. Number 9 is Jamie Freeble. Freeble, a junior forward. Number 10 is Allison Buffenberger, a 5'5 junior midfielder. Number 12 is Ireland Tawney, a senior forward. Number 14 is Samantha Gaida, a sophomore midfielder. That is number 22, Anna Cooper, a 5'7 junior defender. Number 30 is Kayla Edie, a sophomore defender out of San Diego, California. And the goalkeeper is Emily Franco. The goalkeeper for DeSales is Katarina Polivio, a senior All-MAC Freedom honoree. DeSales will start off with possession as the Bulldogs quickly lose it down the sidelines. The Ducks will get their first opportunity today. Now we're back to action. We apologize for the audio difficulties we were having. That should be fixed now as we're back for field hockey action. Up ahead to McGrath for DeSales, and they will find number 15. That's Ashley Jopp. Jopp, good defense played there by the Ducks. Knocked down was the pass by Michaela Thompson. We'll have an opportunity now for DeSales, as that will be the first corner of the ball game for the Bulldogs. On the year, DeSales, they have 186 corners. Their opponents have 160, and they've done a very good job scoring off set pieces. For Stevens, they have 209 penalty corners on the year so far. They only have given up 139. Bulldogs will bring this in from the far sideline. Straight out to Peterson. Peterson with a shot in front, knocked around by the goal, and finally sent out of bounds by a Bulldog, and Stevens will clear that attempt. 13:31 to go in the first quarter. Onto the far sideline now. The Ducks with possession. They'll send it up the sideline. That pass is knocked away by DeSales. Coming out and making the play was Sarah Peterson. Peterson, a freshman at a Harpsburg, New York, Harpsburgville High School. Foul be called that keeps it with DeSales in the person of Wingle. Wingle going to the goal, knocked away there by Franco, but that'll be a penalty corner for the Bulldogs. Their second in quick succession of the first. On the year, DeSales, they are led statistically in
goals by Kate McGrath. McGrath with 14 goals on the year. Right behind her is Tyra Wingle. Tyra, 11 goals on the year, 5 assists, 27 total points. And Sarah Peterson with 5 goals on the year. She's played very well of late, as she normally is the person the corners are triggered into. This time, maybe a mishit there by Becky Barley, as that ball really didn't go very far off the stick of the junior out of Slatington, Pennsylvania, Northern Lehigh High School. As now a double team by DeSales will turn into a foul. Keeping it will be the Ducks. Up now to number 10, that's Allison Buffenberger. Buffenberger, a junior out of Leesburg, Virginia, Foxcroft School in Leesburg. Now across the field to Peterson. Peterson had a little trouble on the handle. Good defensive pressure there by number 4, that's Bryn Froelich. Froelich, the junior out of San Diego, California, Torrey Pines High School. On the year, Froelich, she is second on the team with 5 goals, 3 assists, but also a good defensive player for this Ducks squad. DeSales beat the Ducks when they played them in the regular season by a 3-2 score. Up ahead is now we have an injured player on the sideline. Can't see what number that is, but there was a collision towards the sideline. That's number 14, Samantha Gaida. As there was quite a collision there between her and a DeSales player. She looks like she's getting up, as DeSales will keep possession and will now have a stoppage in play for the injury, as the trainer will come out onto the field. But we'll take this time to look at Stevens a little more, as she will walk off on her home power. The head coach for Stephen is Meredith Spencer-Blutz. The assistant coaches Jen Hanks, Kara Marco, and Sam Burke. For DeSales are coached by Lindsay Goller in her 5th season, as Gaida will walk off the field on her own power. She just got shaken up a little bit as there was a collision there on the near sideline. Goller is assisted by Stephanie Palmieri and Monica Tice, as we're just about ready to get going here from the Turf Athletic Fields. The other MAC Freedom Semifinal to go with this one is Misericordia and FDU. FDU the 1 seed, Misericordia the 4. DeSales the 2 seed, and Stevens the 3 in the 4-team tournament. Knocked away there by Franco. And Stevens will corral. Good play there to keep it for a second was Redunda, but she got called for the infraction. Now up the far sideline. Bulldogs try to chase, but it will go out of bounds to Stevens. Another foul called. This one looked like it's called on the far sideline on DeSales. Sent up by number 20. Now Ducks with possession, coming to the near sideline. With it, number 23, that's Linda Frenelli. Now back right by where the lacrosse net would be. Now inside, back to Frenelli, and there'll be a foul called on Stevens. Out of bounds again. This time, possession will go to Stevens on the far sideline. In close, trying to fight for possession there was number 6. That is Skylar Migliaccio. Instead, a foul will be called, and DeSales will get possession. As they try to save it on the near sideline is Eckert. Eckert fighting there with Frenelli. And now Eckert sends it right to the middle of the field. That's to Barley. Barley trying to get through a defender. Gets it knocked down there by Stevens. And now with possession is Michaela Thompson. We'll have a whistle, as they will reset. Michaela Thompson, a senior out of Wall High School in New Jersey. And Massaquan, New Jersey for Michaela Thompson, the senior defender. Has played very well in her senior season. In the first ball game between these two schools, DeSales won by a 3-2 score. As they were led by 3 goals, two by Katie McGrath and 1 by Tyra Wingo. Goals by Alyssa Appleby and Allison Buffenberger for Stevens in that game. As now DeSales will get possession. The all-time series, DeSales leads at 4-1. Though they had not played in 12 years before the meeting in Hoboken this fall. The last meeting was in September of 2007, a 4-1 loss for the Bulldogs to the Ducks. But DeSales had won the first 3 meetings, 2 of them in Center Valley in 2004 and 2005, and in Hoboken in 2006. Ducks with possession, but chasing it down is Olivia Whitmer. Whitmer into the ball game. Whitmer, who missed the past 2 ball games due to an injury, she's back. She normally triggers most of the corners for DeSales. A very good defender is Whitmer, a sophomore out of Lancaster, Pennsylvania, in Manheim Township High School. Stevens will now get an opportunity to set up in the person of Buffenberger. And she loses possession, but there's a foul called on DeSales. Triggering in was Migliaccio. And DeSales will get possession on the far side. Chasing that down is number 22, Anna Cooper, for Stevens. As she'll get it back up to Shannon Stewart, and a foul will be called against DeSales. So far today, 11 fouls on DeSales, 7 on Stevens. No shots for Stevens on goal yet, or shots total. DeSales has 2 shots on goal and 2 shots. They also have 2 penalty corners and 2 saves for Franco, the goalkeeper of Stevens. For Emily Franco on the year, she's played in 18 ball games. 30 goals allowed, a 1.64 goals against average, 98 saves on the year, a 76% save percentage. She's 11-1 with 1 shutout. In goal for DeSales is Katarina Polibio. Polibio has started 21 ball games for DeSales this year, 44 goals against, 140 saves. She's 12-8 on the year with 3 shutouts. She has a 2.14 goals against average and a 76.2% save percentage. For Stevens, they've used 3 goalkeepers, but most of them time it has been Franco, as they have used Kara Kennedy and Emily Sendon a little bit as backups to Franco as DeSales pushes it up the sideline, but that is number 22, Anna Cooper, who takes it away, but coming in fast is Hannah Williams to try to get it back from Shannon Stewart. Now up ahead to Froelich. Froelich loses it out of play, and Peterson will trigger in. And for DeSales, they've only used Polibio the whole year, and she has been terrific, as she has been her whole 4 years in Center Valley, multiple-time All-League selection in the MAC Freedom. MAC Freedom All-League teams have not come out yet for field hockey, but the soccer teams came out. Both of these schools with a couple of members on the women's team. Stevens swept all the major awards this year, while DeSales, they had a couple of second-teamers for a Bulldog squad that went 13-5 and ended their season yesterday to a loss to Misericordia by a 4-0 score. As with possession now, number 23, that's Linda Fernelli. Up the sideline, Stevens with it. Fernella. Now the Bulldogs have it. Knocked away, foul called. Trying to get there was number 9, Jamie Freebel. Freebel, a junior, out of Roxbury, New Jersey. Roxbury High School. Have a whistle here, and we'll wait for the restart. We have 3:38 remaining in the first period of play. The ball will go over to Stevens. Triggering will be Shannon Stewart, a sophomore at Ellicott City, Maryland, Mount Hebron High School. Fernella. Shot by number 9, that was Jamie Freebel, will be knocked away by Polivio, but will have a corner for Stevens. That will be their first of the game. Their 210th of the year for the Ducks. And again, they've only given up 139 corners on the year. That's a very low number. They get a lot of corners. They don't give up very many. Triggering will be number 5, Shannon Stewart. Migliaccio with the shot. That's deflected. Knocked away. This time there'll be a chase out to the sideline. See who gets there. Stevens will get there, but a foul will be called, and DeSales will have possession. That pass tipped. And over to Hannah Williams. Williams to Peterson. Peterson looking for somebody up the sideline as she gets tripped, and we'll have a card here. As that'll be a yellow card. And that will go on, it looks to be Migliaccio. So a yellow card on Migliaccio. And that's only the second yellow card that Stevens has had all year, as they've only had 1. Their opponents have had 9. There'll be a 5-minute penalty for the Ducks' leading scorer. That's a big penalty if you are DeSales. So coming in will be number 2. That's Natalie Logan for Stevens. She'll replace number 9, Jamie Freebel. As Peterson with it now for DeSales. Peterson with a shot, and the foul is called. They'll go the other way. 2:13 to go in the first period of action. Misericordia and FDU, the other semifinal, that is being played at FDU. That ball game is a 7 o'clock start, so we'll try to get you the updates that we can from that game while we're still on the air. Of course, we won't have a final score for you from that, but you can check the MAC Freedom website for that information later tonight. As DeSales, the 2 seed on the year, their record is of 12-8. While Stevens comes in the 3 seed, 11-7 on the year. DeSales 6-1 in the MAC Freedom. Shared the regular season conference championship with FDU Florham, as they both had the best record, but FDU Florham got the 1 seed via the fact that DeSales' 1 loss was to FDU Florham, and it was in this building a couple of weeks ago, a 5-4 loss for the Bulldogs in overtime, a terrific ball game. DeSales had a couple of chances to win it in the overtime period with a couple of corners, but it was FDU who scored off a corner to win that ball game in the overtime session 5-4. You look at Stevens, their last ball game was a 3-2 shootout win versus FDU. They gave FDU their first loss of the league season in what was a very good ball game for Stevens, as Stevens scored a goal in the second and third period, as that'll be a corner for DeSales, and FDU Florham scored 2 in the third that would knock them up, and then the 1 goal in overtime for for Stevens. Alyssa Appleby and Skylar Migliaccio with the goals for the Ducks, and Haley Firm and Marissa Colvin on the goals for FDU. Corner will come in. Sales will take it. It will go straight out to Peterson. Peterson, little bit of a mishandle there, as that'll be cleared down the other way. Getting to it will be DeSales, but actually a foul was called on Stevens. Looked like the Bulldogs were going to be the one call, but the call went for DeSales. Another foul call. This one will go on DeSales, as we have 7 seconds to go in the first period. No score between these two conference foes here in the first round of the MAC Freedom playoffs. The buzzer will sound, and we will be on to period 2 after a quick break, and we'll take a quick break right here. We'll be right back with second period action between DeSales and Stevens here on the DeSales University Sports Network. We are back from DeSales University, the turf athletic fields, for a MAC Freedom Semifinal between the 2-seed DeSales University Bulldogs and the 3-seed Ducks of Stevens Institute of Technology. In the first period, we have no score. There was shots by Sarah Peterson with one shot on goal for DeSales. Tyra Wingle and Ashley Jopp for the Bulldogs also had a shot on goal. For Stevens, they had 2 shots. Michaela Thompson with one and Buffenberger with another. Neither of those on goal for Stevens. DeSales will start the quarter out with possession. Triggering will be number 16. That's Allie Ball. Ball, who was injured last ball game. Looks like she has a very heavy wrap on that right hip, which she didn't have the last time we were here, so she was injured in the ball game, did not play in the ball game against as now Stevens with the takeaway. In the corner, knocked out of play, knocked out off of number 6, that's Migliaccio. Well, a corner for DeSales. For DeSales, that will be their 4th corner of the day. They haven't been able to capitalize on any of them. As taking it will be number 20 into the ballgame, Julia DeLuca. DeLuca, a senior out of Glen Rock, Pennsylvania, Susquehannock High School.
Yeah. I was wondering where she was going. Because I thought the ball went out.
Waiting for the whistle, and she gets it. And she'll trigger it right out to Peterson. Peterson with a shot. That will go in. That will get by the goaltender in Franco. A goal for what looks to be Sarah Peterson will get confirmation on that if that was deflected or if it will be a goal for Peterson, which would be her sixth on the year. Actually, no call there. Wasn't called a goal. As it went in, it looked like it was as they just restart from with Stevens' possession, as it'll be no goal there, as everybody in the whole building, myself included, thought it was a goal. Both sidelines did, except for the referees, who must have called it off before that play. Now Hannah Williams with it. Now in front, another opportunity for DeSales. And this will be a foul against DeSales, as we're still tied at 0. Right up the middle of the field, Madison Brader will knock it down. Brader, defense closing in on her. That defense was supplied by number 2, Natalie Logan. Logan, a freshman out of Poway, California, Poway High School. Stewart sends it up ahead. Now it's Migliaccio. Migliaccio gets it knocked away by DeLuca, but the call will go against DeSales. Another pass, this one by Buffenberger, that's knocked away by DeSales. Now Wingle almost came back and stole that from number 25, Alyssa Appleby. Knocked away again by DeSales. That'll go out of play. Actually, it went off of Stevens, and Peterson with it. Up ahead to McGrath. McGrath couldn't get there. Now Stevens with possession. Just tapped ahead there for the Ducks on the near sideline to Froelich. Froelich will dish to Logan. And now to Migliaccio. Migliaccio gets it taken away by Madison Brader. Going off will be Wingle. Coming on is Ashley Jopp. Both of them starters, as Jopp will replace Wingle. Now up ahead to McGrath. McGrath gets it knocked away, but Williams right there will get a foul, and that one's called on DeSales, so it'll be Stevens' possession. 11:23 to go in the second period. Foul will go against Stevens. Sent up the sideline, knocked down by Stevens. With it now is Buffenberger. Stolen away by DeSales. Making that play is Olivia Whitmer. Whitmer now getting her stick involved, taking it away from Migliaccio this time. Hannah Williams up ahead. Good defense there, supplied by Shannon Stewart. And a foul will be called on DeSales. Thompson will trigger. Thompson right at the midline, and the defenders converge on her. Up ahead to Logan. Foul called on DeSales. Buffenberger will trigger in on the inbounds right here. 11:12 to go in the second period. So far, only shots on goal by DeSales. This may change as an opportunity inside for Stevens, but good defense by Olivia Whitmer to send that shot away. Now out on the far sideline, DeSales with possession. Up ahead. Good play there. Good stick moves made by Olivia Whitmer. Froelich with it now. Gets across the midline. Froelich will get doubled right there. Redunda came over, but couldn't get the ball. It'll go down the sideline, where it will be out of play, and possession will go to DeSales. Foul will be called. It'll stay with the Bulldogs. Up ahead, but picked off by Stevens, making the play. For Stevens, number 26, Ariana Mascara. Mascara, a sophomore at a free old New Jersey, Colts Neck High School. She's just into the ball game. Brader with a play there before DeSales, but she gets called for a foul. Back to Thompson. Thompson will trigger for Stevens. Thompson almost gets tripped there by the stick of Whitmer, but she was able to get away from it. If she would have gotten tripped, that would have been a foul. Actually, probably would have been a card. Foul will go on Stevens. 8:09 to go in the second period. No score here between DeSales and Stevens. MAC Freedom Semifinals here on the DeSales University Sports Network. Other MAC Freedom Semifinal will start at 7 o'clock. That's number 1 seed FDU Florham. They will take on Misericordia. That ball game will be in Florham Park, New Jersey. DeLuca with it. Gets it knocked away, but is able to get it back. DeLuca sends it across the field, but nobody was there for the pass except for number 4. That's Bryn Froelich. Bryn Froelich will send it up ahead. Knocked away there by number 23 for Stevens. Now Whitmer, she backs that up, but she's in a fight for possession with Appleby. As we'll have a stoppage in play here as a Stevens players tying their shoes, so we'll wait for the startup for just a little bit. And now we're back and running. With it is Eckert. Back to Peterson. Peterson trying to split a double. She can't. Pass is stolen away, but sent out of bounds off of the stick of number 23. That's Linda Farinelli. Ducks with possession. Trying to find someone to pass that to was Natalie Logan. She does finally get the pass to Michaela Thompson. We have a foul call that will keep it with Stevens. 6:08 to go in the period. Up ahead now, that pass knocked away. Stevens with possession. They've had a lot of good opportunities to possess the ball in the past couple of minutes, just they have not had a shot on goal yet today. Ducks with possession. In front, knocked away. And this sent back out, but they couldn't clear it completely. And that will be a corner for Stevens, their second of the day. As DeSales couldn't clear, then we have the foul, which turns into the corner. .5:32 to go in the quarter. No score but here between DeSales and Stevens. Let's take a look at the final MAC Freedom regular season standings right before this corner. Actually, we'll take the corner and then we'll take a look at the standings. As triggering there will be number 5. That is Shannon Stewart. Stewart triggers the corner, shot. And that's knocked away, but we'll get another corner. And now we will take the time to look at the MAC Freedom standings. 15-4, 6-1 in the league was FDU Florham. 12-8, 6-1 in the league DeSales. 11-7, 4-3 in the league was Stevens. 4 seed Misericordia was 9-10, 3-4 in the league. 10-9, 3-4 in the league was Wilkes. 3-4 in the league, and 6-12 was Eastern. Kings was 2-5 in the league and 6-12 overall. And Delaware Valley was 1-6 in the league and 5-12 overall. So that was the final regular season standings for the MAC Freedom Conference. As the corner will be this time triggered from the far side, but Shannon Stewart will do the honors again. Stewart will send it in. Thompson with the shot. Knocked down. Appleby inside. Just to the left of the goal. Outstretched stick of Eckert couldn't get to it, and that was beneficial for DeSales, actually, probably as it went out of play. But keeping possession are the Ducks. Thompson will go to the goal, but get it knocked away. And we'll have a foul called on Stevens, which will give the Bulldogs possession with 4:44 to go in the half. Up ahead, that pass out in front of Jop was knocked away. With it is number 22, that is Anna Cooper. Cooper, a junior at Oceanport, New Jersey Shore Regional High School. Good move there by Wingle, who's back in the ball game. Gets it knocked away, though. But Wingle will chase. Peterson almost gets possession, and she will. As a foul is called on Stevens, that foul will go on Froelich. Another foul called. This one also on Stevens. Inside. Wingle, shot, and a score. This goal will be good, and the goal will be for what looks to be number 1, Katie McGrath. For McGrath, that will be her 15th goal of the year, which is a team leading goal for McGrath. She's had a terrific freshman season. And Tyra Wingle with the assist. Wingle second on the team in assists with now 6. Was 5 before that assist. Both of those two Bulldogs should be on the short list for Freshman of the Year in the conference and possibly even Offensive Player of the Year in the conference. As DeSales has a very good freshman group led by McGrath and Wingle, but also Sarah Peterson and Leah Eckert and Allie Ball, along with Ashley Jop. Most of the goals this year for DeSales have been scored by underclassmen. Only one senior has scored a goal, and that's been Madison Brader, who has 2. Other than Whitmer and Williams, everyone else has been freshmen, as Whitmer a sophomore and Williams a junior. So they have a lot returning next year to the Bulldogs, but they will have to replace Katarina Polivio, but they're more concerned about this year, as now a shot is deflected, and that will go out of play as it went off the stick of a Bulldog. 2:26 to go in the period. DeSales now holds a 1-0 lead over Stevens Institute of Technology. That lead amassed by a goal at the 16-18 mark by Katie McGrath, which was her 15th of the season. A inside-the-box pass which led to a one-timer pass to the goalkeeper for McGrath. Defense supplied by Becky Barley, but Barley will get called for the foul. Thompson with it, looking to make something happen. Now inside to Froelich. Get a foul call, which will turn into a penalty corner for Stevens. That will be their 4th of the game. So both Stevens and DeSales both have 4 corners. For Stevens, they have 4 shots, none of them on goal. DeSales 5 shots, 4 of the 5 are on goal. That's the real difference here. Stevenson hasn't been able to get a shot on goal, have the Ducks, while DeSales has gotten 4. Migliaccio this time will take the penalty corner. Migliaccio, a junior forward at Long Valley, New Jersey, West Morris Central High School, will trigger it in. sent to Brumbar. That'll be cleared on a foul by Stevens. 1:31 to go in the period. DeSales with possession. Up to Peterson. Tries to split two defenders. Third one comes over. We'll get a foul called. And DeSales will keep possession. Another foul is Peterson sends it upfield. That'll get knocked down and go out of play. Kind of a fortuitous play for DeSales as it was knocked out of bounds, and DeSales will get a reset right here as that pass was, if it had stayed in play, was going to go nowhere near a Bulldog. Chasing after it was number 13, that's Tyra Wingle. Actually, check that was Ashley Jopp, 15. She couldn't get there, and it's out of play over to the Ducks. Now Eckert, she gets it away from Froelich. Eckert's pass is knocked away by number 23, that's Linda Farinella. Foul called. This one will go to DeSales. 25 seconds on the clock. DeSales looking for maybe a little late magic here in the second period, as they have 17 seconds now. It's a lot of late clock goals for both DeSales and some of the teams that have come in here this year, but it doesn't look like there'll be one this time as there's 7 seconds remaining. Stevens in no real hurry as the clock will run out. And we have played a full half here from DeSales University. DeSales holding the 1-0 lead here in the MAC Freedom Semifinals over Stevens Institute of Technology. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back with first half stats and second half action right here on the DeSales University Sports Network. Welcome back for second half action here between DeSales and Stevens. A rather chilly Wednesday evening. The Bulldogs and the Ducks in a MAC Freedom semifinal. DeSales, they had the only goal in the first half. That goal was scored by Katie McGrath. The Bulldogs with 5 shots, 4 of them on goal. For Stevens, 3 shots, none of them on goal. And that is how the first half went. If you're Stevens, you need to start getting more attempts towards the goal, as they haven't gotten a shot on goal yet. If you don't have a shot on goal, you can't score. As Brader knocks it away there. And it's to McGrath. McGrath sends it up ahead to Wingle. Wingle has to go chase after it, and it's caught there by DeSales. On the far sideline, Bulldogs will keep it. Inside, that's Wingle. Foul will be called on Tyra, though. 14:02 to go in the period. Stevens will have possession. Now to the far sideline. And a turnover for the Ducks in the first half. Fouls rather even. 32-31 in favor of Stevens. Stevens did have the yellow card, though, which was against number 6, Skylar Migliaccio. We'll have a corner here for DeSales. That will be their 5th of the game, as they have 5 and Stevens has 4. They haven't been able to capitalize off of a corner yet. And taking it will be number 8, Becky Barley. She'll come to the near side. Barley has done about half the corners. Julia DeLuca has done the other half. Normally Olivia Whitmer takes the corners, but she has played sparingly after missing the last 2 to an injury. Peterson with a shot. Now Williams. Her shot is deflected away and goes out of play. It'll be Stevens' possession. To the near sideline. And knocked out of play. That's knocked out of play by Stevens. Redondo will keep it for DeSales as she works. Her pass is knocked down by number 10. That's Allison Buffenberger. Buffenberger knocked it away, but actually Stevens will have possession. Sent up ahead by the Ducks. Trying to corral that pass was Natalie Logan, but it's stolen away by Madison Brader. Brader with a pass in is knocked away, and a foul will be called that will keep it with DeSales. Brader will trigger right from the middle of the field as she drops the ball down about a foot outside the box. Shot by Brader. Actually, that was a pass, and it was deflected. McGrath tried to track it down, but DeSales will have to backtrack now to Sarah Peterson with Bryn Froelich on her. Froelich got a foul called as Peterson will be called, and it'll be Stevens' possession as they try to get their first good offensive attack of the second half. 12 minutes flat left in the period, as it's 2 quarters to decide who will go to the MAC Freedom Finals. The championship ball game will be played on Saturday. Should be around 1 o'clock. Time still 2 to be announced. It will be played at the highest seed. As the other ball game going on, which will start in about 10 minutes, is FDU Florham and Misericordia. FDU, the 1 seed. Redunda with it on the far sideline. Gets it knocked out of play. Redunda will have possession. Alexa will send it upfield right in the air, but that will come down out of play. Would have been in play if it was lacrosse lines, but the field hockey line's about 3 feet further in, and it goes out of play. As it'll go out where it will go out of play where it was the play made by Redunda because it had never went back in play. Knocked out of play there. See what goes to will go to Stevens as it was knocked off of Whitmer. Both teams fighting for possession. This will go over to DeSales. Sent across the field to Eckert. Eckert's pass will find its way not out of play. It'll stay in play. And we'll get a foul called that will keep it with Stevens. 10 minutes to go in the half. Jump. Gets it knocked away. Now, Madison Brader up ahead to Hannah Williams. Hannah Williams is looking for Jop. She gets that pass to Jop, and now Williams is coming back for it, but it's knocked away. Williams will overrun it. There's a good play there to corral it by number 30, Kayla Eady. The sophomore defender who started the ballgame, as that play will go out of bounds, was replaced rather early on, is now back in there to start the second half. Eady is from San Diego, California, Scripps Ridge High School, the same high school as former Bulldog Hansen. Christy Hansen, the Offensive Player of the Year in the MAC Freedom last year out of Scripps Ridge. A terrific program out there. They both played together in high school. Would have played 2 years together, the junior and senior year for Hansen, a program that has won multiple CIF state championships out there. As that pass up ahead for the Bulldogs, they will keep possession. Just now, they will lose it. A good defensive play made over there on the far sideline. That play being made by number 23, Linda Farinelli. Back to DeSales. Knocked away. Foul called on number 6, that's Skylar Migalaccio. Sales with possession, far sideline. Back right into the middle. Good play there by Stevens to knock it away, and Allison Buffenberger. But Bulldogs will keep the possession just for a second till a foul will be called on DeSales and will go the other way. Bulldogs back with possession. They quickly like that just lose it as Stevens has it up ahead. Froelic's pass is knocked away. But keeping it there was Stevens. Now back to Buffenberger. Buffenberger's pass is knocked down by Becky Barley. McGrath slips and falls. Referee saw that there was contact there, and it'll be called a foul. DeSales with possession. Pass knocked up into the air in front of the cage. Nobody was there, though, for either team as it rolls harmlessly away. But now a pass is intercepted by Becky Barley. Barley's pass is knocked out of trouble and right to Natalie Logan. Logan sends it up ahead to number 17. That's Bashana Williams. Williams, a sophomore out of Jackson, New Jersey. Jackson Liberty High School. As now it'll be re-triggered here for Stevens. Making that restart will be number 10, Allison Buffenberger. Now Froelich going towards the cage. That will be a penalty corner. And another attempt at a corner for Stevens. They've had 4 so far. This will be their 5th. They have not been able to get a shot on goal on any of the corners. The only goal in the ballgame was by DeSales' Kate T. McGrath. That was in the first half in the second period. That staked DeSales to a 1-0 lead. Actually, nobody scored in a corner either side. As DeSales will try to defend this attempt by Michaela Thompson. Knocked away by Polibio. That'll be their first shot on goal. So it takes all the way to the 6:09 mark in the third period for Stevens to get their first shot on goal. But they could not capitalize. It was knocked away by Katerina Polivio. Barley. Williams in defense. Foul is called. And it will be Stevens' possession. Buffenberger will trigger. Shot on goal was by Bryn Froelich. Good job there to get back and make the play, did Olivia Whitmer. Be a penalty corner for Stevens. So DeSales not out of the woods yet on this opportunity. Another penalty corner for Stevens. That'll be their 6th of the ball game and 2 in quick succession. Taking it will be number 26. That is Ariana Mascara. Mascara played a little bit in the first half. Played pretty well. She'll trigger it in. Now to Edie. Right out in front. And a goal scored by Stevens. Scoring that goal for the Ducks. Look to be number 4, Bryn Froelich. We'll see if we can get confirmation on that because there was multiple players in front, but it looked like Froelich was the one who put it in the back of the goal. Actually, they'll give that goal to number 12, Ireland Tani. Tani, a senior at Hopkinton, New Hampshire. For Tani, that will be her 6th goal of the year and puts her ahead of Froelich for second place on the team as they were both tied with 5 before then. DeSales with possession as the ball game newly tied on the goal by Tawney. To Williams. Williams sends it up ahead. She was looking for number 16, Allie Ball. Instead, she found Edie. Williams almost gets tripped up there for Stevens. And a foul will be called. That will keep it with the Ducks. 4:30 to go in the period. This was a back-and-forth matchup the first time these two teams played. That game was in Hoboken earlier this year. DeSales won by a 3-2 score. They were up by as many as 3-1, but Stevens came back. Stevens scored the first goal. DeSales would score the next three, but Stevens would come back with one goal to make it 3-2, but they could not tie up the Bulldogs in the waning minutes as they had possession late, as that will go out of play, but couldn't get a shot to go on a late penalty corner in that ball game. Stevens will bring it in. Over to number 16, that's Olivia Whitmer. Whitmer will get a foul call. That'll go to Stevens. Get a card here. See what goes on. It'll be a green card. That'll go on Whitmer. So Whitmer will go off. And we're ready back for play again. That'll go out of play. And DeSales will have possession after the foul. Barley back to Brader. Brader sends it across. That's to Peterson. Peterson looks to send it up to Wingle. The pass will go out of play. And it'll be Stevens' possession with 3 minutes to go in the third period. We're tied at 1. Here between DeSales and Stevens. Left sideline, that is number 25 for Stevens. That's Alyssa Appleby. Sophomore out of Washington, New Jersey, Warren Hills High School. Far sideline. Now they bring it right in the middle. DeSales trying to knock that away. And that'll be a penalty corner after the foul on DeSales. Penalty corner coming up for Stevens. That'll be their 7th. .234 to go in the period. Taking the corner will be number 26, Mascara. Will come straight out to Thompson. Thompson over to Edie. Edie with the shot. That goes off the foot of a duck, it looked like. Actually, they'll say it went off of DeSales. It looked like it went off the foot of number 7. That's Michaela Thompson. As now we'll have a foul going the other way, so no difference there. DeSales gets the ball with the second game clock erased later than it would have been the other way. 1:52 to go in the period. As Brader will trigger it. They get it up to midfield where that pass is intercepted. Edie will make the play, but he'll have it taken right away by Madison Brader. Brader will send it down the field. Going for it is Allie Ball. Ball, if she can get through her defender, will have a wide open shot at the goal. Ball gets tripped up there, no call. So a good defensive play by Men. As that's knocked out of play, we'll stay with Stevens. Mascaro with the good defensive play to knock it away from Allie Ball. Sent up. Redunda. That'll be a foul. As we have 1:02 left in the period. And clock is running. Whitmer will trigger in. As we're under a minute now. It'll be triggered right from the midfield line. Whitmer brings it in, tries to send it across the field. Williams knocks it away. Foul will be called. That will go on Williams. And Barley will keep possession for DeSales. Peterson, that pass was deflected, and it will stay with DeSales. It was deflected by Williams for Stevens. Sending it inside. Have a foul called. This one will go on DeSales with 19 seconds to go in the period. 1-1, we are tied. Pass stolen away. DeSales keeps it. Sent up in front. Now a shot just to the left. The shot by number 15, Ashley Jopp. And the quarter will run out. So we played 3 complete here from the DeSales University Turf Athletic Fields, and we have decided nothing. DeSales and Stevens are tied at 1 after 3 periods. We'll take a quick break and be right back with the 4th period of play here on the DeSales University back for 4th period action here between DeSales and Stevens. Nothing decided in the first 3 as DeSales and Stevens are tied at 1. The goal for Stevens was scored by number 12, Ireland Tawney. For DeSales, their goal scored by number 1, Katie McGrath. As we're just ready to go here. Stevens will get possession. And quickly they will lose it as a good play by Julie DeLuca. And a foul will be called on number 17 for Stevens. That's Bashayna Williams. As Stevens will have possession. Up ahead. That pass was knocked away from Skylar Migliaccio. And now DeSales with possession. 14 minutes and 15 seconds to go. And we played 45 seconds in the period so far. Possession on the far sideline being fought by both DeSales and Stevens. Bulldogs will come away with possession. Having it for a second was Eckert. They lost it, they got it back. It's been a back and forth night in the midfield. Both will actually get a foul called, so goes straight back to Polibio. Nobody will chase after it. Katarina will knock it out of play, but actually try to knock it out of play. She couldn't get it out of play. That might have been a little better served, but she hit it right to the player who was in front of her. As a duck was crashing down. Edie knocked away. Making the play was Brader. Brader's pass. Oh, Jopp didn't see it, but she had Wingle coming down on the near sideline. Now it's to Williams on the far sideline. Williams loses it, actually doesn't lose it out of play. It will be DeSales possession right at the top of the key. Inside chop. That'll be a penalty corner for DeSales. For the Bulldogs, it will be their 6th of the game as they try to break a 1-1 tie here with them and the Ducks of Stevens. For Stevens, the goalkeeper, Emily Franco, has done a very good job, as has Katerina Polivio for DeSales. They both only let one shot through. For Polivio, she has 2 saves, 4 for Franco. As triggering that corner will be number 20, Julie DeLuca. DeLuca sends it back. And now we have a shot here by Peterson. That's knocked away by Stevens. Now can they clear it out? They cannot. DeSales with possession. Lost it there, as losing it was Wingle. Back to Brader. Brader whistle here, and a foul will be called. That will go on DeSales as we have 12:05 to go in the period. And off the foot of Job. And a foul will be called that will keep it with Stevens. On the far sideline. That was number 23, Linda Farinella. Farinella, who did not start the ball game, came off the bench and has played very well. That pass knocked down. Allison Buffenberger will trigger in there. And we'll get a penalty corner for Stevens. The Ducks, they have been the only team to capitalize on a penalty corner today. They scored their one goal on one of the penalty corners. This will be their 8th corner of the day. DeSales has 6. Taking that penalty corner will probably be number 6. That's Skylar Migliaccio, as she's taken the past few, as they will send Migliaccio to take the corner on the far side. Migliaccio will trigger in. Skylar sends it straight to Thompson. Michaela Thompson will send it to Edie. That goes off of the foot of a Duck. They will clear the corner opportunity. And it will be DeSales possession. 11 minutes to go in the 4th period. Ball's dropped down. Whitmer will trigger. Up to Redunda. Redunda tries to get by her defender. Alexa does, but in her pass almost too far out in front of Tyra Wingle. Wingle tries to split 2 there. She does. Almost coming over there was Migliaccio to get a piece of it. But now Williams does for Stevens. They get it back. Oh, knocked away there as a crashing number 27, Maris Daly. But there was a foul that was called on Stevens. We'll have another foul. This again will be on the Ducks. So we have 10:05 to play in the period. To Williams. Williams turns, shoots. We'll have a corner after Williams' pass, which there would have been a shot by McGrath, but a foul was called. So penalty corner for DeSales. That'll be their 7th of the ball game. They only trail Stevens in penalty corners now by 1. Fouls in the ball game, 50 for Stevens, 49 for DeSales. Taking that corner will be number 20, Julie DeLuca. DeLuca will take the corner on the near side. DeSales has not been able to capitalize on a corner as of yet. DeLuca sends it in. Brader, a little bit of a miscommunication there. It looked like Wingle would have probably been best served to get that pass, but Brader got it and then tried to send it back to Peterson as it was all messed up at that point. And DeSales wasn't able to get anything out of that opportunity. Under 10 minutes to go in the fourth period. Wingle there, now McGrath. She's got a player right up ahead on the far sideline in Hannah Williams. Williams sends it up ahead. That will go into the corner. Will it go out of play? It will. That goes out of play on the pass by Williams. If she had a little less on it, it would have went right into the corner, and an open Ashley Jopp could have gotten there. But instead it goes out of play, and it'll be Stevens' possession. Ducks will send it down the field. It's knocked down by Peterson of DeSales. Peterson's pass is right there, trying to find Whitmer. Now DeLuca. DeLuca with a shot. Almost knocked away there by Franco. Now up ahead. Stevens with possession. Whitmer playing good defense. Now got herself in trouble and got called for the foul as she almost tripped up number 9. That's Jamie Freebell. That went off the stick of Redunda, and it helped out the Ducks as it went right ahead to Freebell. Get a foul called. That will go in favor of DeSales. Peterson knocked away. Up ahead to Williams. Williams right there. That pass into really the middle of nowhere, and it's taken by Stevens now. Allison Buffenberger with possession. Onto the far sideline. That's Kayla Edie. As it will go to Stevens on the near sideline. Knocked away. A little bit of a trip there. And that will go out of play. No call on the trip. And Redunda will throw it in. 7:30 to go in the period. That pass knocked away, but will stay with DeSales. Ryder will send it cross field. That's to Eckert. Now taking it is number 14 in the ball game, Samantha Gaida. Gaida went out injured earlier. Good to see her back in the ball game, as that'll go out of play. Nobody touched it there for DeSales, so we'll go to the Bulldogs. Tails with it on the near sideline. Redunda couldn't get there. Stevens with the ball. Now DeSales got a good takeaway there by McGrath. McGrath in a little bit of open space. Will try to find Williams. Williams sends it upfield to ball. Doesn't get there, though. Chasing it down will be Anna Cooper. And that will go over to DeSales. With 2:01 remaining in the first quarter in Florham Park, New Jersey, FDU Florham and Misericordia, they are tied. No score yet in that ball game. So that's a interesting result so far, as that was a very good ball game the first time those two played, as Stevens with possession now. Foul called. Stevens will keep it. That was a very good game time FDU played Misericordia last time. They only beat the Cougars by a 3-2 score. So that should be a good ball game. We have a good ball game on hand right here between DeSales and Stevens, as we're tied at 1. Knocked away as DeSales try to clear it out. Good stick handling by Whitmer, and she'll send it down the other way. That'll go out of play, but they got it out of the back of their zone, and actually a foul was called before it went down the full way, so it's just at the back part of the offensive zone. Where's that way? Off the body of that's now the call. A little bit of discussion, and we'll go to DeSales. That went off the body of Allie Ball. Brader sends it across the field. Now is Peterson. Peterson gets her pass stolen away, but it'll stay. Actually, it'll go over to the Ducks with 4:08 to go in the period. Williams started up. Now she will switch off. Stevens still with possession with under 4 minutes to go. Foul will be called. That will keep it with the Ducks. Knocked up in the air. And a foul called on Stevens. DeSales possession. 58-54, the fouls in favor of DeSales, as they have 54. Stevens with 58. DeLuca. Williams almost tripped her up there. Foul will be called. McGrath will still have it. McGrath sends it up to Williams. They're over to the DeSales side of the field. Williams with a head of steam. She almost got it knocked away there. Now, Allie Ball. Allie Ball will chase it into the corner. Ball right in front. That will go out of play. And we will have a stoppage in play right here, as the referees will talk to number 14. That's Samantha Gaida. Gaida gets a green card, so she will go off. 2-minute penalty there on. Actually, that penalty will go on number 10, Allison Buffenberger. So that could be big for the Bulldogs as they try to capitalize here late in the half. 2:40 to go. Peterson out in front, knocked away. Knocked out of there. Good play by Franco, but they can't clear it out of the zone, as keeping it in is Peterson. Peterson tries to split two defenders. She still has possession. And now that will stay with DeSales after the foul. Peterson in the corner. And that will be a penalty corner, as it was a late call on it, so it will be a corner for DeSales. 2:04 to go, as this is a good late opportunity for the Bulldogs to try to break open this tie score. Last couple of minutes, Stevens has had a couple of very good opportunities to untie us. Now this is DeSales' chance with 2:04 to go. Taking the corner from the near sideline will be number 20. That's Julie DeLuca. DeLuca has taken all the corners in the second half for DeSales. It was an interesting one the last time. DeLuca will trigger in. Sends it right out to Brader. Brader with a shot. Went off somebody. Now inside. Almost saved away. Inside again. That'll be another corner. This one will come with 1:51 on the clock. There was a couple of really good opportunities for DeSales that time. They could not capitalize. 1:05 left on the penalty, which has now been changed to number 14, who is Samantha Gaida, as it was originally on Buffenberger. DeLuca will trigger again, this time straight out to Peterson. To Eckert. Eckert inside, and a goal for DeSales. We'll see who scored that goal. It looked like it might have been Tyra Wingle, because it looked like it was redeflected from the right side, which would have been Wingle. As we'll see who the official scorer gives that goal to. With 1:45 to go, DeSales, they have taken a 2-1 lead off a penalty corner by Julia DeLuca. They will give that goal to Eckert as it was not hit by Wingle on the other side. For Eckert, that goal will be for Eckert, number 6 on the year. DeSales will knock it away, and they're a minute 18 from heading to the MAC Freedom Final for a 3rd straight year. Next time it's alley balls. If you're DeSales, you probably just want to send it all the way down the other way and try to clear some time off the clock as a foul will be called and go over to Stevens. And Stevens, for the Ducks, they have a heightened sense of awareness that they need to get something going towards the goal very quickly as it's now under a minute on the clock. Thompson gets it knocked away. There'll be a foul called, though. Clock will continue to run. Thompson will trigger. Thompson, good defense right in front of her by McGrath, and that'll be a penalty corner with 35.6 seconds to go in the 4th period. It's been an exciting game to say the least between these two teams. Both have been 2 very good ball games. This one has been probably better than the one that was in Hoboken, which was a 3-2 score, as DeSales up by a late goal by Leah Eckert, which happened about a minute ago, that gave them the 2-1 lead. Winner will go to the MAC Freedom Final. Opponent to be determined, as after 1 quarter, Misericordia and FDU Florham still tied at 0. Penalty corner will be triggered in from the far side. This one will come in to Thompson, now to Williams. Williams gets her shot blocked. That'll be a foul called, so they will keep possession. 20 seconds to go. DeSales with it. They'll just clear it probably. Actually, Hannah Williams will keep it. Then she'll try to send it down the other end, but she whiffs on the shot. 11 seconds to go, but the Bulldogs will have possession down to 8 and now 5. And it looks like the time will run out, and DeSales will be headed to the MAC Freedom Final for the 3rd straight year, as they will take on either FDU or Misericordia. And it was a terrific ball game for DeSales and for Stevens. They both played really well, but the part about this is somebody has to win, somebody has to lose, and DeSales will advance to the MAC Freedom Final. To look at the statistical breakdown for the ball game. Ireland Tawney with the 1 goal for Stevens. The goal for DeSales, Katie McGrath with 1, Leah Eckert with the other. We look at the statistical breakdown shots for Stevens. They had 9, 3 of them on goal. The difference in this ball game is DeSales had 10 shots, 8 of them on goal. It was the Bulldogs who were getting more of their shots on goal. We talked about that at halftime, and it came true in the second half. They were able to tie the game, did the Ducks of Stevens, but it was a late goal by Leah Eckert that would put the Bulldogs on top for good as they head to the MAC Freedom Final on Saturday. That ball game will be played on Saturday. If Misericordia can win their ball game versus FDU Florham, the final will be here on Saturday, probably around 1 o'clock. FDU Florham, if they win, the ball game will be at FDU. That ball game would also be around probably 1 o'clock, so check the MAC Freedom website and the DeSales website, athletics.desales.edu, for updates on where that championship final will be held. So we look at this ball game. It was a terrific ball game between 2 very good teams. DeSales came out with the 2-1 win, so they will improve. The 2 seed of DeSales, they will improve to 13-8 on the year. They're still 6-1 in the MAC Freedom, as that won't change. Stevens, they will drop to 11-9. That's where they will finish their season. And we hope from the DeSales Sports Network that we can see the DeSales Field Hockey team here one more time. But either way, they'll be in the MAC Freedom Championship for the DeSales University Sports Network. We will next have coverage of DeSales University men's basketball. That ball game will be on the 12th of November. That's on Tuesday. The DeSales men open up their season against Muhlenberg. It'll be a 7 o'clock start as they try to go at another MAC Freedom men's basketball championship. For all of the DeSales University athletics team and the DeSales University Sports Network, this has been Noah Sprandio. Good.